I got no time for games.
Hey guys, Canadian Shogun here. Today I'm going to go over patch 12.4 and my thoughts on each and every buff or nerf or whatever, or changes. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to be going over these bug fixes. I don't care. Yeah, Renata, I think she's a pretty strong champion. I think she'll be a tier 1 champion for the rest of this year. Her ult is just insane. Just insane. Like making like an enemy ADC attack another champion, like or just like it functions as a stun as well, which is crazy. So like where the enemy champion's gonna be because it's attacking the one of the other enemy champions. It's her ult is crazy. I'll just leave it at that. I think this will like she's gonna be a tier 1 champ for the rest of the year. Uh, 10% increased bonus damage for Aatrox, I think is a solid thing. He wasn't as early game dominant, you know, as before, but like, he loses a lot of 1v1 matchups. Hopefully this 10% increase will just further just cement his early game dominance. So I think this is a nice nice buff, but it's going to come down to the Aatrox main and how good they are at like landing these sweet spots. Yeah, last patch, yeah, he got fucked. So this is a much needed buff. Yeah, definitely needed this buff from Mumu. It's not even that crazy of a buff. It's only 3 extra damage reduced, but it'll make his early game clear pretty a lot healthier, and you know, it'll it'll stop how threatening early game invades can be for him because he'll have more health to work with and he won't just get one shot. Um, our arrow speed increase, this is huge. Like, this is actually probably going to bring her back into the meta. Like, landing a 3-second stun on anyone at any stage of the game is crazy. Especially with how fast it's going to go now. Like, you're going to have to be pretty quick on the flash or even on a dash to dodge this thing if you don't see it coming at you, because this is a lot faster than people think. Uh, Base health regen reduced. You know, I mean, it's big, I guess, levels 1 to 3 when Blitzcrank really wants to fight, but I don't see this being a crazy nerf. 80 growth decrease in our cooldown no longer decreases with rank. Yeah, massive. Late game, like once you got down to 90 seconds, you could get this down to like a 40 second, 33-second all time because of how much ability haste you stacked. Uh, Crazy. So, I mean, just the fact that it's going to be probably at a 50 second, 45-second alt now with 110 seconds at all ranks. Yeah, he definitely needed that. I mean, 12 extra damage. The only uh place this is going to hurt Mundo is early game. Early to mid game where like, he's not as strong as he is once he gets items. So, yeah, but he's been pretty dominant in the top lane. Alawi's W damage increase in speed, attack speed, crazy. This is gonna bring her back into one of the more dominant top lane bruisers. Because right now she really isn't. But like now she's gonna be able to attack more. And of course this is obviously a dove or attack move reset or an auto attack reset. So like just even adding damage on this when it's like a 3-4 second cooldown, this is huge. I would say she's gonna be back as a top lane, like one of the best bruisers or lane bullies to play. Like probably next to like Yorick and stuff like that. Like just lane bullies in general, like Renekton and whatever. Base armor increase. I mean, it's a solid. It's a solid buff for Callista because she wants to get that early level 1, level 2, or level 3 kill. So, having 3 extra armor to work with is pretty solid. I don't think it's a crazy buff, but it's a solid buff for her. Because of how much she wants to fight early game. Q mana cost decrease. This is just a joke. Like Lucian's already building Mirror mana or Essence Reaver, so like he doesn't really have mana problems mid to late game. And the cherry on top is it's literally 2 mana. Like 2 fucking mana, like 2, 4, 6. Like it's not even that much mana. So I mean, I don't even think this is really that big of a nerf. Honestly, if this is a nerf for anyone, it's lane Lucian, like solo lane Lucian, like a mid or top. I don't see this being. I don't think this is even a nerf for ADC Lucian. Like I don't even think this is really a nerf at all, to be honest. Eon hit damage or base damage reverted. Yeah, they kind of hit her too hard, but like I don't think this is really her problem. Having this extra damage, like her buffing up her ally, like 5 extra damage early game is nice. But you're not really maxing this, so you basically only get 5 extra damage until after you max W. Um, yeah, Nico did need buffs actually, so this is actually solid. 4 seconds down, so you're probably gonna since you max this last actually, this is probably going to be like a 10 second on a 10-second CD mid to late game. And then once you get to 12 seconds, once you get to super late game, this is where Nico excels because you can pretend to be an enemy or an allied character like your jungler or something, get the enemy team to dive on you, and then you just ult. So having a 12-second cooldown, which is more like a 6-second cooldown, and you can just spam it out and pretend to go in, like this is gonna be super annoying to play against. I mean, it looks it doesn't look like a big buff, but in my opinion this is a huge buff, especially for experienced Nico players. Oh my god, like 4 seconds reduced off the off 20, like that's huge. Oh, it's huge. This is just gonna help her early game and just with her farming in general and one shotting the back line because she's had a problem. She has problems with leaving them with like 1 HP. Um, yeah, hitbox radius. I mean, this is gonna, I guess, help her dodge skill shots. So, I mean, this is solid. I haven't really ever seen Riot do one of these before, so solid all around. uh, yeah, Nunu. This hits him hard early game, but late game it doesn't really matter. But yeah, early game like having that extra HP where Nunu wants to just spam gank, that's a decent nerf. But the cherry on top is this one. This is a huge nerf. Like 15 extra damage, getting that nerfed, and then once you get to late game, that's what is that? That's 40, 43, 43 damage, like off of that when you're maxing this first. And not only that, you lose 2% of the bonus health extra damage, and the 18% off the AP. This is a big nerf, and it's gonna stop him from being so dominant early game in terms of like ganking and then just straight up just going for a dragon. Like there will be some counterplay now because he won't be able to do it as fast. So I think this is gonna bring him more into line with other junglers and stop him from just snowballing his way to victory. Passive AD scaling decreased. I think this is a decent nerf for Kiana. I didn't really think she needed a nerf, to be honest. I didn't think that she was crazy broken or anything. For Kiana players, I think this is just an annoying nerf because it's like I don't know, like 10% bonus AD. That's a lot when you get to late game and you're stacking that. So it's just a nerf to late game Kiana, and that kind of sucks because seeing late game Kiana pop off, even when you're playing against it, is super hard for her. But it's super awesome to see. Base armor increase. I know they mentioned top lane in this, but this is just a huge jungle buff. Like you'll get 42 armor off of your runes, right? And 42 armor in the jungle early game, you're just gonna save so much HP, even top lane, but in the jungle specifically, you're gonna save so much HP off of this that I think Rumble in the jungle it just got a little bit better. It's not gonna be a tier 1 pick by any means, even a tier 2 or 3, but it's a solid buff. uh, health growth increased. This is actually real. This is a decent buff per set, especially early game. So you have 14 health more, or you have 14 health to work with, right? So level 3 when you try to go all in a set. So I mean, it's a decent buff. You know, I don't think that this is crazy or anything. Like 119 extra health late game is, kind of whatever. Yeah, Veigar, I feel like this is a much needed nerf because you're maxing this usually if you're playing mid lane Veigar, you're maxing this last. So 2 seconds is pretty decent for early game. You know, I don't know, man. These nerfs just seem so inconsequential to me though. Like it doesn't seem like they nerfed anything, to be honest. Like 2 armor, I guess makes them a little bit more vulnerable to assassins. But like then they added the armor growth. Like I don't know. I don't really think this. I don't think it matters. Um. Oh, the Xayah buff. This is actually a massive buff. I really like this one because you get 25% more damage at 100% crit. That's fucking insane. And if people start doing that lethality build, I've been seeing Xayahs do. I mean, where you just get that armor pen mythic item and then just go crit. Like you'll do so much damage. It's crazy. So I think this might bring her back into relevancy. Especially like just good Xayah players, people that actually know what they're doing on her. Um, yeah, I don't know. Overall, like I'm not gonna read through all of it, but overall, they just lowered her slow, lowered how long her slows last, how much the slow is, and just a little bit of the damage. So like 5 damage here. Like it's not a crazy nerf in my opinion, but it's going to definitely hurt her against top laners. Like top lane, this is going to hurt her because she won't be as hard to stay on because the slows won't last as long. Like 0.5 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is. Like that 0.5 seconds top lane, oh my gosh. If a melee champion only has to be slowed for 1 second, like it's so much easier for them to stick to you. Because that 0.5 seconds seems like an eternity. It basically is 2 seconds. Um, yeah, I don't really know why they did this, to be honest. Like 40% attack speed, like I mean 10% attack speed total. Like okay, like I mean why even do this at this point? I mean it doesn't seem like that great of a nerf. Yeah, I don't know. This is pretty solid. Again, just making her less sticky top lane. Uh, yeah, I don't know. That's all I gotta say on that. Uh, yeah, I mean this is nice. This is a nice quality of life change. I like this. Like pinging and this stuff. It's yeah, I like it. But anyways, yeah, rejuvenation beat start definitely need to be nerfed. I saw so many Nasus and fucking Mundo players literally going like waiting and found for their third bead, going 3 bead start, and just like they just outsustain the enemy later. Like you can't poke them down, like when they had it. So, I mean, I've still seen players go rejuvenation beat start with a health potion or like refillable. But it's not gonna. It definitely needed to happen. I think that this overall is a good nerf. And then like of course all this stuff now with the changes, like 50% to 100%, 150 to 200%. Like yeah, is what it is. Yeah, support gold income items. This is in direct response to top lane Janna, and it's just gonna make it harder to play top lane support. Need to happen, especially for master tier and like and above or diamond and above, because players up there when they know what they're doing, like oh my god, like that thing I saw, players playing against it, and it just seems so dominant. Like I don't even know if the counterplay really. You just funnel so hard. Um, 10 seconds is actually this is massive in terms of like if you're behind, you win one team fight, and then you just you take 2 3 towers. That's like that's 200 extra gold going across your team or 500 extra gold. Like that's I don't know. Lowering it to 5 seconds, I don't even know why they lowered it to 5 seconds. Why not just make it so that there's a set amount that the enemy team can earn, right? Where it's like they can get like 1 or 2 bounties. depending on how far behind they are, and then like it shuts off. Like 5 seconds is, I mean, I don't know. I guess it makes sense, but I don't really see the point. Champion buffs. I don't know why Camille needed a buff, but yeah, I mean, pretty solid, I guess. Yeah, 20% plus shielding. That's nice. Yeah, 20% extra healing. That's nice. Oh wait, they added -5% damage taken for Garen. That's actually really nice. Like that's gonna. It doesn't seem big, but for splitting Garen, that's really nice to play with. uh, yeah. What is that? 20% extra healing. That's annoying. uh, Actually, 5% extra 5% damage dealt. I don't know why they did this, to be honest. Because like I mean, this is probably like I don't know. Jarvan's passive is pretty solid. So if you're doing I think it's 12% max health damage with your first auto on an enemy champion. So that's an extra, what is that? That's an extra like that's 12.5% damage now about. Yeah, 12.5-ish, 12.6 maybe. Yeah, I mean I mean it's cool. It's cool buff. I mean it's going to give him a little more damage. Lee Sin. Yeah, I don't know why, but that's actually really solid. That's going to give him a nice early game. Oh shit, this is fucking ARAM. Do do do. Yeah, hey guys. So my favorite thing overall would probably just be the intentionally feeding being, you know, just just better because I have so many people in my games that just do it. And it's the most annoying thing. Like they just don't care anymore. I don't understand why would you play a game if you're not having fun, you know? This is a nice quality of life change being able to search your summer icons. Yeah. Everything else is kind of you can just read by yourself. I'll link this in the, description. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye, guys.